In this video, we're going to look at how to increase and decrease an amount by a percentage. There's two ways we can do this: a longer way, which is good for non-calculator one, and a quicker, shorter way, which is good for calculator questions. So let's look at the first method first. If we have Jim earns $375 a week, he gets 8% pay rise. How much does he now earn each week? So we want to increase $375 by 8%. The first thing we need to do is find the 8%. So if we want to find 8% of 375, it's 100% is 375, 10% is 37.5, 1% is 3.75, and 8%, we need to times by 8, is 30. So the 8% is 30, so he gets $30 extra a week. So his total, his new salary, is the 375 plus the new 30 is 405. So he earns $405 a week after his 8% pay rise. But we can do this in a quicker way using multipliers. Now, when we looked at finding a percentage of an amount, we looked at multipliers, and we saw that if we want 8%, we can just multiply by 0.08, divide the 8 by 100. So the multiplier here would be, we could just times 375 times by 0.08. And that also gives us an answer of 30, and then we can add it on to give the 405. That's absolutely fine as well. It skips some of the steps, but there's an even quicker way to do this. And that's to think about, how much do we end up with? Well, if we start with 100% and we add on 8%, well, an 8% increase there is the same as 108% of the original amount. That's the 100% that we started with, the original, plus the 8% increase. That's what our 8% increase is. So we want 108%. Well, if we want 108%, we can find the multiplier. 108% is the same as, we divide by 100, 1.08. And that is our multiplier. Once we have our multiplier, all we do is multiply 375, the original amount, by our multiplier, 1.08. And when we do that, we get straight to the answer of $405. So this way, we just find the multiplier as 108%. We want 108% of the original. So it's 1.08 in our multiplier, and that's what we multiply the original amount by. And that gets us there in one step rather than two steps. So we find the multiplier by considering what percentage of the original amount we want to end up with. If it's an increase, it's going to be more than 100%. If it's a decrease, it's going to be less than 100%. And in the next example, we're going to see a decrease. So here, 108% because it was an 8% increase, 100 plus the 8%. The second example, we're told a jumper normally costs $36 and the sale reduces it by 14%. How much does it cost in the sale? So we could do the method of finding 14% and then taking that away from the original amount. That takes quite a long time, as we've seen. So let's try and do it the slightly quicker way this time. So 100% is 36, and we want to reduce it by 14%. So a 14% decrease, well, that is the same as an 86% of the original. 86% of the original, because it's the 100% we started with minus the 14% we're getting rid of. So 86% of the original is what we want. Now if it's 86%, our multiplier is 0.86. So this here is our multiplier. If our multiplier is 0.86, all we do is take the initial amount, 36 and times it by our multiplier, 0.86, and that gives us our answer, which is $30.96. So the jumper costs $30.96.